A big story at this hour. 11 days after the Pathankot attack, Pakistan has been forced to act as it has begun cracking down on the Jaish-e-Mohammed. The terror group, which India believes is behind the Pathankot attacks, Pakistan issued an official statement today saying that, and I quote now, based on the initial investigations in Pakistan and the information provided, several individuals belonging to the Jaish-e-Mohammed have been apprehended. The offices of the organizations have also been traced and sealed, and further investigations are underway, unquote.
Big news first on NewsX. Pakistan has apprehended many people on the evidence provided by India. Also, JEM officers now being traced and sealed. Movement being made by Nawaz Sharif to ensure talks take place between India and Pakistan. Is the action taken by Pakistan enough, or will India continue to demand that Masood Azhar and the other three names that have been given are the ones who need to be arrested to show some movement and action on the ground by Pakistan? Deputy journalist Dinesh Thakur in New Delhi, Geeta Mohan for NewsX.
Let's go across to our guests who've joined us right now and try and analyze the move made by Pakistan today. R.P. Singh, National Secretary of the BJP, joins us. Lieutenant General retired Shankar Prasad, he's a defense analyst, and Nasir Hussain, a spokesperson of the Congress, also joining us. Before I go across to our guests, some breaking news coming in just now. The Congress party has termed Pakistan's crackdown on the Jaish-e-Mohammed, the JEM, as a cosmetic step. Speaking exclusively to NewsX, former MOS in the Home Ministry, R.P. Singh, said that Pakistan should have arrested the chief of the JEM instead of his foot soldiers. Take a look.
Well, as far as terror across the border is, the whole country stands united, fighting against terror from across the border. We have seen reports coming in from the Prime Minister's office of Pakistan, saying that some people of Jaish-e-Mohammed have been arrested. What I would like to say that the Prime Minister Modi must ensure that whatever kind of discussions take place with Pakistan should be decisive and time-bound. I would just like to impress upon the Prime Minister of our country that when Pakistan says that they want to they have arrested some so-called members of Jaish-e-Mohammed, why have they not arrested Azhar Masood? They should arrest him because everybody knows that he is the head of the Jaish-e-Mohammed, and they have closed down an office of the Jaish-e-Mohammed. Bhawanpur is where the central offices is. That is where that office should be shut down. Prime Minister Modi should also ensure when we were in power and when I was in the Home Ministry, we gave proof to Pakistan as well as to the United Nations about all the perpetrators of 2611. We gave voice samples, we gave all the proof that there was possible. Why is that Lakhvi today also is given bail in Pakistan? That is something that should also be impressed upon. We see Azhar Mahmood today also we gave proof against.
So the Congress criticizing it, in fact saying it could just be cosmetic and India needs to do far more in order to put pressure. Let's go across to the Congress spokesperson right away and ask him why this is an area of suspicion for the opposition right now. Nasir Hussain, the government of course is still waiting and watching. They haven't given a reaction, an official reaction as of now. But there has been some action from Pakistan. Agreed, the chief of the JEM is still out. But there have been offices sealed, foot soldiers taken in, and that's better than no action at all. Why do we have to, in fact, try and run it down as well? I understand the apprehensions. Pakistan has done it before. But why criticize the Indian government, saying the Indian government should do more?
I think this, whatever the Congress spokesperson and the former MOS in the Ministry of Home has stated, he has not tried to run down the action taken by the Pakistani government. It's a welcome step that some people of Jaish-e-Mohammed have been arrested. What he has tried to point out is just arresting some stray people here and there and calling them, or maybe they are members of Jaish-e-Mohammed. What is more important is Pakistan, to prove its point, prove its point that it is all out to curb terrorism from this subcontinent, to fight against terrorism, whatever it has stated so far in the last 6 months, if it is standing by it, they have to go ahead and arrest Azhar Masood, who is the chief of Jaish-e-Mohammed. We don't understand why Pakistan in the past has left Lakwi. I think what the MOS, the earlier MOS has pointed out is very true. Why did they leave out Lakwi? Why did they give him bail? So whenever there is a need, they do try and try and do some cosmetic changes here and there, arrest a few people here and there. That is a welcome step, but what we
these are
need to ensure
cosmetic
is
steps
that
taken,
the
of
chief
course,
of
perhaps
police
even with the
organization,
ploy
people
in
who
mind
are
to try and
directly
save the
responsible for
talks.
terrorist
No, I understand your
activities
apprehension,
across the
Mr.
border
Hussain.
are arrested and booked.
I understand your apprehension. You're not the only one, let me assure you, about these apprehensions. General Shankar Prasad, this apprehension is quite real because we've seen in the past as well, right after the Mumbai attacks, the same exercise continued. Some people were picked up, a couple of offices were shut down, but then it didn't fructify into watertight cases against those individuals. And the fact that Masood Azhar, who runs the JEM, hasn't even been touched. Could this perhaps be a desperate ploy by Pakistan in the interim to try and save the talks to save face?
You see, let's all understand what's the track record of Pakistan. I don't have to narrate that to you today. The track record of Pakistan is very clear. Yet, at this point in time, I presume that we wish to give them a benefit of doubt, saying please go and do what we are telling you to do, go after Jaish. Now these statements issued by Pakistan today are very interesting and they're very carefully chosen words. It says we are trying to locate the offices, we are trying to track them. Now don't tell me that they do not know where Masood Azhar is, where just as they didn't know where Osama bin Laden is, as they don't know where Dawood Ibrahim is, as they don't know where Hafiz Saeed is, where those officers are, who are they're going on cracking at places to find out where they are. I find it very hard to believe that those people, those terrorist agencies who work under the guidance of the ISI, who are supported, assisted, armed, given everything by the ISI, don't know where they are. So let's be very careful about that. Now what's happening in Pakistan today, we must understand. There are two attacks in Afghanistan, one in Mazar-e-Sharif and one in Jalalabad. The police chief in Jalalabad today itself has said that these have come from Pakistan and the Pakistan military. They have been led by some Pakistan officers is the word they've used. Well, we don't know, but that's the assessment of and he says I'm 99% sure. That's the press report. So how much it is true and how much it is not true, we will find out soon. We have shared intelligence which we have given to Pakistan, not only with Pakistan, but perhaps the entire world. We have given it to the US, we have given it to the UK, we have given it to France. And the kind of pressure that is being built on Pakistan today by all the world powers is making them to succumb to the pressure to do something about it. But what is heartening to note today is this, that the meeting that the Prime Minister of Pakistan chaired this morning, of which we can see visuals and it's been widely reported, has been attended by the Army Chief,
yes,
has been attended by the DG ISI and also by the Corps Commander of the Lahore Corps. Now these are important aspects. Therefore, how much pressure will the Prime Minister and his cabinet be able to put on these three gentlemen to find out where these people are?
That of course remains to be seen. General Prasad, please stay on with us. Please stay on with us. There's some breaking news coming in just now. We'll come right back to you, General Prasad. Reports are now suggesting that the Shiv Sena's Punjab unit has offered a 1 crore rupee bounty for the head of Masood Azhar. The Shiv Sena leader in Punjab, Yogesh Batish, has been quoted as saying that Pakistan should be given a befitting reply for its tactics against India. So in the middle of it all and the action taken by Pakistan, unit of the Shiv Sena wants a bounty on Masood Azhar's head. We'll factor that in when I go across to RP Singh. RP Singh, first of all, before I come to you on the Punjab Shiv Sena issue.
Hafiz Saeed also.
Yes, Hafiz Saeed as well. The point here is there is some action from Pakistan, Mr. Singh. We understand that and we acknowledge that. But the fact is we've seen all of this before.
The United States has given a bounty on Hafiz Saeed.
Yes, of course. But my question is to RP Singh. RP Singh, we've seen all this before. After 2008 Mumbai attacks, Pakistan did the same exercise all over again, took a couple of people in custody, filed a few cases. Those cases completely fell off in court. The apprehension is this is just a ploy by Pakistan to make sure the talks go on and then it'll ultimately end up being an exercise in futility, as the previous ones have been. Now, the Indian administration hasn't really an official statement yet, but how is the government looking at these steps? Don't you think Masood Azhar is the kingpin, the linchpin really, and he's been let off? Should we take Pakistan seriously if they only go after foot soldiers and not go after masterminds?
First of all, I can't say on behalf of the government, but I can tell you as a spokesperson of the party now that issue is that is it that are we satisfied with what Pakistan is doing? They have started the investigation, they have started arresting people. Let's see how do they go about it, and everything relies on it. I told you earlier also on your debate, give them time. If you remember, you
Yes.
said 72 hours. I said give some time to them and probably let them come back to us. So I'm again saying, all our actions will depend on how do they proceed on this case and cases prior to this also now. So let's wait. I mean, if they don't act as per desired requirement of the country, I mean, probably then all options are open with us.
But
Whether
you
have
say
to
you
talk
speak
with
on
them or
behalf
not,
of the
whether there
party,
has to
sir.
be
Let me
some
ask you
action
another question. And I will concede, sir, you had said 72 hours. It took slightly more than that, but I'll concede that point. There has been some action, as you had said there would be, and I concede that point very happily. My question is, sir, you're saying wait for a bit longer to see where this particular case goes. I mean, there is no indication till now, sir, that Pakistan, in fact, as General Prasad pointed out, they're saying in its statement that we're trying to locate the offices of JEM. Now, are we to believe they don't know where Masood Azhar is? Are we to believe they don't know where exactly does JEM operate from? That's a bit hard to believe, sir.
Sir, I have not read any statement of any sort or any of that sort. I mean, it can be that some newspaper is quoting, some Dawn or some other newspaper is quoting something which I don't rely on. Until there is an official statement by the Pakistan government or the authorities of the Pakistan, I can't comment on it. But last I know is that Pakistan Prime Minister has committed to our Prime Minister Shri Modi ji that he is assured that there will be a prompt and decisive action this time. So we are waiting for that, and let's see what is the prompt and decisive action now.
Okay, Nasir Hussain, would you like to come in here? Because I completely agree with General Prasad's point that if Pakistan wants us to believe that they are still looking for people who are operatives of the JEM and their offices, I think we shouldn't believe that at all, because we know who supplies the JEM with ordnance, with equipment, with logistics. It is the military establishment. On the other hand, however, there has been a very important meeting today as well, and comes in a succession of 3-4 meetings before this as well, where the Pakistani top brass of the military has been in consonance, at least seemingly, with the line Nawaz Sharif seems to be taking. Now, is it the Congress party's contention, sir, that even though ostensibly it seems that Nawaz Sharif is trying to toe the line that India is pressurizing them for, India should not take that, in fact ask for more? Is that what you're asking?
See, let me be very clear here. We have a stated foreign policy vis-a-vis Pakistan for the past 65 years and plus whatever the time from the time of the independence. And that policy, there has been consistency in that policy irrespective of whichever party that has come to power. But only thing what we are seeing in this policy is flip-flop in this policy is the last NDA government from 1990 to 2004 and the present NDA government. There has been so much of flip-flop, so much of inconsistency, so much of confusion on the policy vis-a-vis Pakistan. So that is the reason why from the past 1.5 years, literally every day there has been an ceasefire violation on the border.
I'll ask Mr. RPC to respond to this, but first there is some more breaking news.
35 to 40 army personnel. I don't know what is happening.
Inputs coming in right now. The NIA has also recovered a Chinese-made wireless set from a vehicle just outside the Pathankot Air Base. This is news just coming in right now. A Chinese-made wireless set has been seized from a vehicle outside the Pathankot Air Base. Now, these are just information coming in just now. And before we get more information on that, I just had to tell the viewers that RP Singh wants to respond to your last comment. Then I go to General Shankar Prasad after this. RP Singh, very quickly.
Sir, Congress spokesperson is forgetting. There were two major flip-flop in the policy with Pakistan. One was Mr. Nehru going to UN, and second Mr. Manmohan Singh committing in Sharm el-Sheikh and putting the country to the shame. This is the biggest flip-flop. Our policy has been consistent that terror should be on the table first, rest will follow. And we are clear that we are for peace, but not at the cost of terror.
Okay. Okay, there's been no official confirmation as far as the Indian government is concerned whether or not talks are still on ice. Is the Indian side still looking to perhaps defer talks, if not postpone or cancel them, even after the action Pakistan has taken? General Shankar Prasad, very quickly, let me ask you this. India, from our sources, we understand the administration right now is still in the wait and verify stage. Talks, as far as we know, haven't been given the go-ahead for the 15th, because remember, it was Pakistan that set the date. India didn't really agree ever on that particular date, I mean. But the fact is, do you think these actions by the Pakistani administration, will they factor in, no matter how small or inconsequential they might seem, will that factor in the interim, in the short term, as far as going ahead with the foreign secretary level talks are concerned? And more importantly, should they factor in?
You see, the basic issue we must understand clearly that the governments don't work the way we want them to work on television. Now, the government of India perhaps is taking a very cautious step, and to say that they are flip-flopping, I don't think that's the word I want to use. I would say they are going in a very deliberate manner to tell the world, to tell Pakistan that we want peace, but we don't want peace at terrorism being on us. Therefore, take your time. Yes, talks or no talks. Talks is a matter which the government of India will decide in its wisdom in the next few days, whether on the 15th, 25th or 30th, it doesn't matter. What is important today is this, that the government of India must categorically tell Pakistan, which they have, and provide as much evidence as they can, and assist Pakistan to trace these people, whatever help they want from India, in the form of any investigators that want to come here and talk to our people. The point is this, talk is one part of the story which is clearly giving to the world an idea as to we want peace and progress. The other side is we have to combat terrorism. Pakistan has been told in no unequivocal terms that unless you close terrorist machinery, these peace talks will be meaningless.
But is that a good idea, General Prasad?
Will be meaningless.
Is that
it
a good
doesn't
idea?
matter
You
whether we talk or we don't talk.
General Prasad, you mentioned the fact that Pakistan has offered to send an SIT team to Pathankot Air Base to verify the attacks. Would that really be a good idea? Because after all, it also leaves the possibility of Pakistanis coming here on the ground and saying that there are different voices.
I would want to draw your attention.
Yes.
I would like to draw your attention. I would like to draw your attention to 2611. Within 24 hours of that conclusion of that operation, the President of Pakistan, Zardari, said the ISI chief will come to India and discuss as to what the evidence they've got. And within 12 hours, they cancelled that visit. Currently, they are saying we will send investigators to India. Now, what do they want to investigate? We have to find out. Our intelligence agencies are not going to just say, okay, come along, we'll take you to Pathankot Air Base and you can do what you feel like. It is not going to happen it doesn't happen like that. They will come with a questionnaire. That questionnaire needs to be answered by our intelligence organizations. If there are anything that they still wish to see, we will try and produce it for them. We will see what interactions take place between the two intelligence organizations. Will they come to Delhi or will we meet in Bangkok, the two intelligence organizations? It's a matter of detail which the government will look into. The point is this, there is no harm in the two intelligence agencies sitting across the table and discussing what intelligence is available.
So let me go back to fundamental questions. Let me go back to a fundamental question.
Block those loopholes. What's the problem?
Let me go back to a fundamental question. And RP Singh, do you believe that Nawaz Sharif is doing enough as far as curbing down on terror in his own country is concerned? And before you answer that, there's some breaking news coming in just now. NewsX has accessed the first two pictures of JEM men arrested by the Pakistan authorities today. The first man is Saad Mughal, a resident of Sahiwal, who is said to be involved in the Pathankot attack. The other is Kashif, who's a graduate. While these foot soldiers have been arrested, the mastermind, Masood Azhar, continues to evade authorities. So NewsX has put out those two photographs for the benefit of our viewers. The first man is Saad Mughal. He's accused of being one of the main conspirators of the Pathankot attack. The other is Kashif, who is a graduate and is also a JEM man. Those two photographs on the screens right now. We've accessed those two photographs and we're putting it out, and this is a NewsX exclusive. Remember, very quickly, we'll take two quick reactions from our guests on this as well as the question I was asking earlier. Now, we've accessed the information, RP Singh. We've put out the photographs of the JEM operatives. Do you think by arresting these two foot soldiers, and these are among many, is Nawaz Sharif doing enough? And my question is, do you think the Indian side feels this is enough at this stage?
See, I only see this as a beginning. They need to be satisfy our intelligence agency, our investigation agency, and bring all those who are the handlers as a back end to the book and book cases against them. So let's wait. I mean, that's what it's just a beginning.
Okay, so it's just a beginning. Nasir Hussain, is Nawaz Sharif doing enough, or is it just a cosmetic step, something Pakistan is quite adept at, as we've seen in the past, right after 2008 Mumbai attacks and many other times in the past as well? Do you think this should be allowed some more time? And we've seen that the army chief Raheel Sharif in Pakistan has had a succession of meetings with Nawaz Sharif. Do you think it's enough right now? And before you answer that, sir, Mr. Sharif, I beg your pardon, Mr. Hussain, we'll in fact have some more input coming in just now. Shiv Sena's Punjab unit, like we said before, has offered 1 crore bounty for the head of Masood Azhar, the chief of the JEM. Shiv Sena leader in Punjab, Yogesh Batish, has been quoted as saying that Pakistan should be given a befitting reply for its tactics against India. This is the news coming in from Punjab, and reports are suggesting Sena's Punjab chief has in fact put a bounty of 1 crore rupees on Masood Azhar's head. Nasir Hussain, I hope you heard my question earlier. Is Nawaz doing enough at this stage? Should we give them at least a few more days to see where this really goes, whether or not these fructify into watertight cases against people like Saad Mughal and Kashif who've been arrested?
See, I would definitely not like to say that the Pakistani Prime Minister, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, has done enough, or is doing more, or is doing enough to catch hold of this terrorist or to curb terrorism in Pakistan. But at the same time, I'd like to say that whatever steps that has been taken by the Pakistani government is a welcome step in this direction. 1. 2. The Indian National Congress would like to impress upon the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, and the NDA government that we have to be more stern. We have to make it very, very clear that we are not in pursuit of the foot soldiers. We are in pursuit of the terror masterminds across the border in Pakistan. Whether they are the existing non-state players there, or whether they have been imported somewhere from Afghanistan and the borders across Pakistan on the other side.
All right. Nasir Hussain, we'll have to leave it there because we have just
these masterminds.
Okay, all right, Nasir Hussain, thank you for joining us. In fact, the NIA has recovered a Chinese-made wireless set from a vehicle outside Pathankot Air Base. For more details, let's go across to Nikunj Garg. Nikunj, what exactly has happened? Has the vehicle and the driver also been taken into custody?
Well, Atar, this is the vehicle that was first used by the first set of Pakistani terrorists. So a wireless set has been recovered. This has now, this wireless set has since then been sent to the forensic laboratories also for examination, wherein they have said that this is a Chinese-made wireless set. So very clearly, if the wireless set's range was also operational across the border, then there would be some wireless intercepts also that would be recovered, and the frequencies would give indication to the fact that whether the wireless set was also being used inside the Indian territory or was only used on the other side of the border before crossing into India. So this is a latest discovery that the investigators have made. And latest recovery, and the latest discovery for the media persons.
All right, thank you, Nikunj, for the details. We'll take a short break right now. We also thank our guests, RP Singh, Nasir Hussain, and General Shankar Prasad for joining us. Short break now, much more up ahead.